Welcome back on the AM show. As announced, we're hosting the leadership of the Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences. That is the CKT UTAS Navrongo. They are in the studio here with us, and they're going to be telling us about their institution, what they've been up to, and what they are looking forward to in the future. Joining us for this conversation, we have Professor Samson A. Abangale. Now, he is the Dean of Academic Programs as well as Quality Assurance. And then we have Professor Eric Magnus Wilmot. He is the Vice Chancellor. Both of them join us right here in the studio. Prof and Prof, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
There's a show called Alaji and Alaji. So I guess today, as of this point, this show is Prof and Prof.
Okay.
Good to have you.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us a bit about the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yes.
But you've been out there and you've been doing quite some wonderful things. I'd like to start with you, Prof. Tell us a bit about this institution. For those who don't know, when were you founded? What has the journey been like up to this point?
Okay. Well, the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences used to be a campus of the University for Development Studies until it was made autonomous. In 2019, an act was passed by Parliament to make it autonomous, but it actually didn't start until 2020. So in 2020, the Governing Council of the University was inaugurated on the 6th of May, and then the university then started. But essentially, because of the COVID, things got delayed, and we never really took off until around August 2020.
So that's what the journey has been like so far?
Yes, at the beginning.
Okay. For you, Prof, I would also ask, I don't know how long you've been with the institution, but what has your experience been since its inception? At least since you joined, I should say.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'd rather have a long history with the institution. I have been with the UDS part and then now...
Okay, so you are continuing.
Continuing, and I have over 20 years experience in there. So,
right.
Yeah, but it's been great. Coming out from being a campus to a university and allowed us to do things within our environment and within reach. So a lot has transpired since then, coming up with restructuring and new programs and all that. We've really come very far in the short period that we have been in place.
Mm. Yeah. Let's look at the current structure of the university. How is it structured?
Right now, we have structured the university according to centers and schools. And I'll explain. I mean, for many people, the university system, they are used to faculties. In fact, just before we took off, the UDS campus at Navrongo was hosting 3 faculties: the Faculty of Mathematical Sciences, the Faculty of Applied Sciences, and the Faculty of Environmental and
Environmental
Sciences. But because of the mandate the university had to do research in technology and the applied sciences, including mathematics, we had to restructure the place. And as we speak now, we have 11 academic centers and then four other centers that are helping, 11 schools.
So 11 academic centers,
yes,
4 schools.
Yeah, no, the 11 schools and 4 centers that are supporting the academic centers, yes. So let me start with the centers because they are fewer.
Sure.
We have the center that Professor Bagali is heading, that is responsible for making sure our programs and the quality thereof doesn't get watered down. So that is his responsibility. That's a big responsibility.
Quality assurance is always a tough call.
We also have the Graduate School and Research Center, coordinating the work of the graduate school. You will see as we move on that we are very strong in the graduate school area, and so that center is also doing wonderfully well. We have a center that we have earmarked for international students and scholars, also in there. We have a center of modern languages. That is at the moment started with French. You know where we are, you just go some few meters and you are in Burkina
crossing,
Faso.
yeah.
So then that center is helping to run some functional English programs so that Burkinabés that come can learn the English and be integrated into our program. And they are also running some functional French for our own students, the Ghanaian students who wish to be very literate in French, to also take that responsibility. So those centers are there. But then we have academic programs, academic schools that have been established. Some are yet to establish. But in terms of the structure, at least we have, I will hand it over to you. That's your area.
Well, thank you very much. So we have 11 schools so far, and each school definitely structured to deliver a certain mandate of academic work. And so we have schools of mathematical science, we have a school of physical science, we have a school of chemical and biochemical sciences, we have the public health, we have computing and school of computing and information sciences, and we have the school of environment and life sciences. We have 12 of them, and each of these are specialized, as you will know, in their areas of delivery of academic studies. Each of these schools have a great number of programs earmarked, and of course, as part of planning, we are not able to execute everything almost immediately. So we have some programs already accredited and being run, and we have some in the pipeline, others being processed at the GTEC, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, and then we have those which are still to be delivered. In actual fact, when we took off as a university, we had 15 programs in place. And
15 of them?
15 of them.
Right.
Yeah, and so far, we have 85 earmarked, and out of that, we have up to 30 already accredited, and we have those which are currently being processed for accreditation at the GTEC, another 30-something, and then we have a few which are still on the desk we are working on.
So the plan is big, and I'm sure as the years come by, you'll be rolling out many more programs, and those in that catchment area, as well as from other parts of the country, will be able to benefit from them. And good shot there, the one with French. I've always said that. Surrounded by the countries we are surrounded by, makes no sense for us not to be very, apt in our French situation. But when it comes to the academic programs, you are Dean of Academic Programs. What are some of the programs you're running?
So we have, as I said, a good fleet, but each school is having a strength. We actually have tasked our schools to be able to deliver specific areas and also make specific impacts. So, for instance, if you go into the School of Mathematical Sciences, they have strength in applied statistics.
Okay.
And so they have various programs, but in the area of applied statistics, they make a very big impact in Ghana. If you go to the School of Physical Science, they are pushing out to build a niche in the area of medical physics, where medical physics, by and large, has been a postgraduate program. They are looking at how you can build undergraduate students with some knowledge of medical physics who can easily now build on into the higher level. Then you have the School of Environment and Life Sciences. They have crafted a program in environment and sustainable development, very useful. And this is expected to lead a sustainable development agenda in the country's development, and that is very prominent. We have the School of Education that has uniquely blended online teaching with face-to-face teaching for postgraduate programs, allowing the science students to be able to come on campus to do practicals in the laboratories, to build the ability to teach in the senior high schools and all that. So that is also prominent. Computing. School of Computing is looking at building strengths in network science, data science, as well as cybersecurity. And this is also a trend that we are looking at. And all the others, chemical sciences, we have prominently crafted out pharmaceutical technology program that, of course, is going through the approval. And when approved, will be uniquely different from those that exist in other universities in delivering our mandate. Then we have the public health, which I just started with 2 programs. In the pipeline, we have School of Medical Sciences and School of Nursing and Midwifery, as well as School of Agric.
Okay, so that's quite a component you have there. But Prof, the rhetoric usually is that, I mean, recently there was talk about the fact that even the University of Ghana, the University of Cape Coast, the University of Science and Technology are not living up to expectation when it comes to the sciences in terms of homegrown technological, scientific solutions for our problems. Now, your institution is heavy on technology and the sciences. What are you doing about this situation? I mean, you can roll out the programs, but what is the intent for the university in that regard?
Yeah, we want to be able to make our programs benefit the society. So as a result, even recently, just last week, we had an interaction with the community, the Navrongo and its surrounding communities, to come so that we all discuss the type of research that will be of interest to them. So all those are steps that we are taking to understand the needs of the people and be able to tailor our programs to their needs. Apart from that, these science programs that he's talking about, the programs are structured in such a way that at the end of the second semester, the students are given the chance to interact with industry. So they go for industrial attachment, I mean, from level 200, and they will do that every year until they graduate. That way, we believe that they will go and observe what is being done in industry, I mean, impact industry with what they are learning, and come back to us with what they think we are lacking in the training. And we hope that as we move on, not only the students, we will be having this type of discussion with the industrial players, so that as our students come and they assess them and they return, they will also give us feedback. So by so doing, I believe that by the time this university stays for a reasonable number of years, the programs that are being run will actually be useful to Ghana, not only to Upper East region, but it will be very useful to Ghana.
They should bear some good fruit, shouldn't they?
Exactly.
About how many students do you have?
Currently, we have 3,086 students.
3,086.
Yes. 2,494 of them are undergraduates.
Okay.
And 592 are postgraduate students.
You would always expect that. the postgraduate students will be fewer.
When we started in the first year, we started with 1,175 students.
Okay.
And so this is
incrementally, this is about a threefold increase.
Yes, it's a steady fold. And I want to believe that if the momentum is kept, after about 5-10 years from now, that university will be a big university.
And we pray that it does become that. But let's look at some challenges that the institution is facing. I'll start with you, Professor Bagali, and I'll come to you as well. I'm sure both of you have issues to speak about, whether it is logistical, human resource, funding, whatever. What is the funding situation, though, for the university? I mean, for most institutions, they will tell you it's a complicated affair. How complicated is it for you? But what are your major challenges?
Well, I would comment on that, but my Vice Chancellor will be the best person. But you know, we have started and running up to now. We really have not received support from government in terms of the government giving us seed money to run. So we have depended largely on IGF, student fees, and managing how to go about that. And of course, with the challenge of our environment coming from being a campus to a university, a lot of structures had to change. So there have been financial issues relating to that. Be it as where we have tried to manage with what we have within the circumstances. And some of our programs are also sponsored by grants. Currently, we have 4 grants running in the university, even apart from those that we ladded from UDS. And we are trying to see how we can leverage into having impact on the environment that will dovetail into development. Hopefully, that should attract government and other stakeholders to give us great support. And so our research, looking like being a sample of what they were doing in KUST, we are in the north and we are pushing this strongly to be an impact on the environment and the surrounding communities. So that's how we look like.
Interesting dynamics, but let's get into a bit more of that. Seed money, has there been any commitment? I mean, have there been any promises about what exactly is going to be done?
Yeah, there are promises, and I believe that the timing of our inception could also be a factor. I mean, I think we came in as a university at a time when the COVID was devastating the economy and so on. So somehow you can understand it from that perspective. Yes, government keeps assuring us that they haven't forgotten that we need some seed money. So I hope that as the economy improves, that type of help will come. But as he said, once we've started winning grants, the idea is that some of these grants can support the work we are doing, and we are determined to do that. We, for instance, have, I think you know Mr. Easy.
When you say Easy?
Easy. The man, the musician called Easy.
Well,
I may have heard of him.
Yes. No, he's not Ghanaian, he's Nigerian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that man, for instance, has committed...
Wait, you were saying Izzy, so you mean Mr. Easy?
Easy.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I think it's that got me off.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
I know him.
Yeah. So Mr. Easy, for instance, is supporting. He's been injecting money into our system.
I think he got a degree from one of our universities.
From KNUST.
Right.
Yes. So this is the second year running. For the second year running, he's committed himself to pumping about 200,000 Ghana cedis into the university, which we use to support the students. So a lot of our students are being supported with that type of grant. Those who need support financially, we give them support. I believe that as we speak now, we have given well over 280 students scholarships. Some of these scholarships have paid about half of their fees, so you can imagine that. And so all these things are coming together to help. And then as he said, the little internally generated fund that we are also able to generate, we pump it into the system. But we still have the challenges. I mean, the biggest challenge I can say now is the housing for students.
Okay.
I mean, these numbers that I just called, the 3,085, could have doubled if we had housing facilities for these students. But we don't have them. We only have 2 hostels now that can take a total of about 250 students. So you can imagine we have 3,086 now. A lot of them are renting houses around the university and living in them. A situation that I think will need to change.
And that, of course, is not the best of situations.
Exactly.
But right before we go, I cannot leave without doing this. What are your future plans as an institution? Very briefly on that. Okay. Have you graduated any students yet?
Yes.
You have?
We have. In fact, we are going to have the second graduation ceremony on Saturday.
Okay.
Last year, almost a year from now, we graduated the first batch of students. They were all master's degree students. Students who enrolled and completed a master's degree within 2 years. They were, I think, about 47.
Okay.
Yeah, but Saturday, we're going to graduate a lot more students.
All right. Good job.
I'll talk about that when we are
subsequent.
Yes.
But let's wrap with the future plans quickly on that.
Yeah, the future plans. We want to improve on the student numbers, and so the plan is that if private individuals and industry could help us put up hostels so that more of these students can be.
So you're inviting them for partnerships.
Exactly. Those type of partnerships will be very useful. We want to continue. We have done well so far with staff development, but we want to continue. We have really brought up the level of expertise of the staff within a very short period. And I can just give you one example. You'll be amazed. When we took over office, the institution had 5 associate professors. This is about 2.5 years. We just entered the 3rd year. As we speak now, we have about 19 professors, including 3 of them are already full professors. This is June. 1st June, another one is coming to add.
So the numbers are increasing.
Yeah, the numbers are increasing. And even the administrative staff, we've actually brought some people from senior staff to senior member position. The idea is that, yes, even if we don't get immediate help to put up the structures that the big universities have, we want to leave, when I say we, I'm talking about the first administration. We want to leave the place with a very competent workforce that then can be the engine of growth for the institution. So that is the idea.
We are very grateful for your time, Professor Abagale. Just some 15 seconds to have final thoughts.
We have also plans to stay within our mandate in terms of programs, and we have earmarked ourselves to go through GTech processes appropriately and run only accredited programs. We would ensure that our academic programs are of good quality, but they are delivered according to the laws of Ghana.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining the conversation. Professor Eric Magnus Wilmot is the Vice Chancellor of the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences. And we also had Professor Samson Abagale, Dean, Academic Programs and Quality Assurance. We can only wish them the very best as they aim for the stars. But stay with us. We have more coming up on the AM show before we conclude. We'll be right back.